Hello one and all! This video will focus primarily on the standard angles, which is an angle drawn in a standard position. The standard position is one of the key angles that you will hear and learn about throughout the entire course. It is where the angle's vertex is at the origin and its initial side lies on the positive x-axis. So I have here two examples, one that's 60 degrees and one in 125 degrees. Notice how the initial side is where they both start at the same place, where they end, or the terminal side, is different throughout each problem. Now, it is important to note that an angle in standard position is set to lie in the quadrant in which its terminal side lies. So, if you look at the four different quadrants, quadrant 1 has an angle between 0 and 90. This is typically where we will have the smallest positive angle measurements. Then if you go to the next part of the rotation, you have the second quadrant, which is angles between 90 and 180. Third quadrant is 180 and 270. And the fourth quadrant has an angle between 270 and 360. It is going to be important to note where the standard position angle will be in out of the four quadrants. So, if I were to say an angle measurement lies between 0 and 90, I would have my angle measurement here. If I were to say an example of 110, then it would be in the second quadrant and it would look something like this. If it's 200, it would be in the third quadrant. If it's 305, it'd be somewhere over here in the fourth quadrant. The reason why this is important to note is because in future videos and lessons, a lot of the content will depend on knowing standard position. So, if we go here, go ahead and try to find which quadrant each of these angles will hit. Try to do this without looking at the notes. See if you can do it from memory. If not, take a quick glance at it right now and pause the video now. And you're back, hoping that you've already tried this on your own. So go ahead and check your answers with mine on the screen. So 56 is in the first quadrant, 223 is in the third, 124 in the second, 345 in the fourth, and 510 in the second. The last one is the trickiest one because of the fact that it doesn't lie between 0 and 360. I wanted you to think about what you would have done if it was bigger than 360. Well, if it's bigger than 360, it's made one complete rotation. So what you would do is you would subtract 360 from this to get its smallest positive angle measurement between 0 and 360, and you would find that it ends up in the second quadrant. We'll talk more about this in a future topic, but I wanted to introduce that idea to you. There's only one other part to this video, which is quadrantal angles. If an angle measurement happens to be exactly either 90, 180 degrees, 270, or 360, you will see that it hits one of the axes, either the X or the Y. So here's an example of a 90-degree angle. If it's 180 degrees, if it's 270, or if it happens to be 360 itself. Those are specifically called quadrantal angles. And that's all there is to it, folks, to the standard angle video.